This is probably going to be a very, very random audio, but I am going to criticize the USA for groceries. So, I cook for myself. So, meaning anytime I make food, it's for myself. The sad part is I don't have much of an appetite, also. So, whenever, I'm trying to think of a good example. If I ever buy, a food platter, like a platter with rice and whatever, maybe, yeah, let's go with like a Chipotle bowl. That's for me. That could be 2 or 3 meals. So you might be like, oh, wow, okay. And the problem with America is that nothing is in small portions. Like, it's very hard to find anything small. So most of the time, I'm throwing, spoiled vegetables, fruits out. I try to buy only like one of everything. So, for example, if I know I'm gonna eat a salad maybe twice a week, I'll just buy one tomato and use half half. But at the same time, sometimes when I cook, I make enough for like 2 or 3 servings. And my fridge actually was given to my parents. So my parents got a fridge from the landlord because their fridge broke down. And the fridge that the landlord bought them was very small. So my parents said, "Hey, we'll take your fridge and you can take the new fridge because you're only one person and they have like 3 or 4 people." And so we switched. And the fridge I have is very small, so I don't know how the landlord planned that fridge for 3 or 4 people. Super tiny. And my freezer is small, like literally small. So I can't fit much in my freezer. Um, but when I cook, let's say I'm making soup, maybe I have enough for 3 servings. So I let it cool down. I take 1 serving to eat, and then I have 2 servings, and I put it in a container. This is what always happens. I put it in the fridge or freezer, it depends. And let's be honest, if I drank soup today, I don't want to drink soup tomorrow. So by the time like the end of the week comes around, I've completely forgot about the soup. And usually you shouldn't keep things in the fridge for 2 to 3 days, more than 2 to 3 days. So maybe it's been 5 days. At this point, it's like, do I really want to risk food poisoning or, whatever? And then you might say, okay, well, why don't you freeze it? Again, my freezer is super tiny. And not only that, it's like I have to defrost and I'm just not really good with time management. But yeah, so today I went grocery shopping and like they had carrots in bunches and I'm like, okay, it was like a bunch of 4 or 5. I'm like, honestly, I just needed 2 carrots. Celeries came in a bunch also. I just needed like 3 celeries. Celery stick, whatever. Um, like if you guys ever buy cherry tomatoes and you see how they're really small, like in a little cube box, that's like the portion size for me. Like for example, buttersquash, they had it in the supermarket, and usually they cut. Like I would buy it from the cutting section because I know like some parts of the vegetables probably spoiling, so they save whatever is good, but the portions are smaller. So they had beautiful buttersquashes, and I'm like, this thing is huge. Like I'm not gonna eat the whole thing, so I didn't buy it. Corn. Sometimes the supermarket sells like corn individually, but they didn't do it this time because Thanksgiving is over. So it was 3 pack, and I'm like, a 3 pack corn can feed me for 6 days. Like I eat half a corn, and corn spoils easily also. So at this point, I think what I'm gonna do is just use what I have and give the rest to my parents because I honestly don't eat so much. And even if I want to eat a lot, I can't. Like, I get really tired, really full when I eat. Um, I could have an appetite though, don't get me wrong. But the portion sizes in America is just too large. I'm trying to think of like a good portion. Like, for example, I used to love McDonald's fish fillet, filet o fish, whatever. Don't tell me anything about McDonald's, how it stays in your stomach forever, or the fish sandwich. I just don't want to know. It was my favorite, one of my favorites when I was younger. And I would get, I think, medium fries, a Coke, an apple pie when I was younger. And I remember I was able to eat the whole thing. And then as I got older, if I got that, it would last me the whole day. Meaning, if I ate it, like, let's say at 1 p.m., I wouldn't need to eat anything else for the rest of the day because that was heavy enough. That's as much as I can eat when I'm really hungry. But I don't have a big appetite unless I'm starving or something. But I'm not a big eater. I see people eat big portions. I think the most I ever ate was I got chicken over rice in the cart and I was starving and I ate the whole thing, which was like a rare thing because I can't eat the whole thing. I grew up in an environment where we would buy if we bought food outside, which is like rare, we would buy one serving and split it within 4 people. So like chicken over rice, like one of it would be enough for me and 3 different people in my family. And that's how we usually ate. And then we would have to buy like a second serving if my dad wanted to eat with us. So, like I said, I just never grew up with a big appetite. So I see mukbangs, I see like the Thanksgiving videos, and I'm like, oh my goodness, if we had that much food. I don't celebrate Thanksgiving, just giving you a heads up. That's something I should talk about too, also. Because people say to me, they're like, okay, I'm going to kind of unravel everything. So every year at work, without fail, someone always asks me, are you cooking? Are you cooking for Thanksgiving? And I just don't know how to explain to people that I don't celebrate Thanksgiving. So I just say no. And you might be like, oh, so why don't you celebrate Thanksgiving? I'm a unique situation where I don't have family. It's rare. And you might be like, what? Like it sounds like I'm adopted or something. No. I don't have family in the sense that there's a huge language barrier between my mom and my dad's family. My mom speaks one language, my dad speaks a different language, and they're not even similar. So if my mom's family try to communicate with my dad's family, they can't. There's no way. The only common language we all have is English. Now, the thing is, my mom's family is in her country, my dad's family is in his country. There is, I do have, like, for example, I do have a cousin who's in a different state. I have, like, for my mom's side, and I have, like, a cousin for my, I think cousins from my dad's side that are in different countries. Like, it's just a mess. My dad's family is huge. My mom's family, huge. The thing is, no one is in America. So you know how maybe on Thanksgiving you're like, oh, I'm going to go to my grandparents' house. Well, my grandparents are, for the most part, 3 of them are dead already. I only have one left. And they're like strangers to me. My cousins, strangers to me. From both sides, my aunts and uncles, strangers to me. My niece and nephews, strangers. So I don't have any family really. And I feel like Thanksgiving I've been seeing more people celebrating it these days. And I honestly think it's more of a reminder to say, hey, let's gather the family and reunite because everyone has the day off for the most part. Right? You might have like, a cousin down south and they're like, oh, let's meet at, our grandma's house this year. And then you reunite. It's like a time where, yes, you're supposed to be grateful for what you have. But I think also it's a reminder that family is important and that we should reunite. Not in my case. And then you might say, oh, okay, does that mean you have a really small family? Yeah, I have an extremely small family. And honestly, I prefer it that way. I know people have loads of cousins, grew up with cousins. But in my case, I don't have to deal with the family drama. Like whenever my mom calls her family or my dad calls his family, it's drama, drama, drama. And I'm here in the background with no drama because there's no family with me. So it's kind of funny. I told my parents, I'm like, the only thing that's going to be extremely weird and strange is that if my mom dies, I don't know how to communicate with her parent and tell them that she's dead. Or if my dad dies, I don't know how to communicate with his family and tell him that they're dead. That's the weird part. No idea what I'm going to do. I'm probably going to let my sister handle that. And yeah, for the most part, it's quiet. But what I really enjoy about the holidays is that there's just this energy in the air. I don't know, it's very calming. It's very like warm. That's what I really love with the holidays. But I don't celebrate Thanksgiving. I don't celebrate Christmas either. Um, but I really need it because I do visit my parents often. So I don't have that need to say, oh, let's reunite. My mom would tell me stories about how she would take care of old people and like their children wouldn't talk to them in months. I don't have that situation, so that's why if you ask me what am I celebrating, well, I'm celebrating my life today, meaning yay, I woke up today, another day of life. But yeah, that's my little rant talk, whatever, speech. I don't know what you want to say. My rambling. I like to ramble. But yeah, I am super excited for December. Very, very excited. Um, yeah, I'm excited for a new year. This year, you'll hear me say it a million times, but this year was amazing. 2024, absolutely incredible. And I just don't know what's going to happen in the future. Or it's not even what's going to happen in the future, it's where my brain is going to go. The brain is so tricky, right? Like, I feel human. My big issue with humanity, not with humans, let's go with humans. With the human mind is the limit. Like, for example, if I fell off a building, I'm either dead or I'm going to have injuries, right? Or I'm going to be lucky. Let's be honest, it's not going to happen. I'm probably going to have injuries or I'm going to be dead. But the human brain is so complex that I don't even know my own limit. Like, no one knows their own limit. Like, even me just starting a channel with audios and whatever I've been doing shows how I can push my brain super far. Me learning how to do music and just creating harmonies and melodies and everything just shows how I can push myself and my brain to do so much more. It's just, even I don't know my own self. It's just, that's the scary part. And like I said, I don't know what the future has in store because I don't know what puzzle pieces I'm going to be connecting in the future. But I'm excited. Like everyone says, I hope you're all in good health because that's the truth. The only thing that can really destroy you is health. Right? Taking a blood test and the next thing you know, you're being diagnosed with cancer in terminal stage. That's the sad part. And that's why I have to appreciate time. It's just, everything is so complex. Life is very complicated, you know? As you get older, it's just, you think things make more sense. It absolutely doesn't, in my case. But that's my opinion. Anyways, I want to record a lot of audios today. But at the same time, I'm kind of hungry. And I have food roasting in the oven, but it's going to take me 2 hours probably. So maybe I'll do one more audio. I gotta do a role-playing audio. I haven't done that in a while. Toodles.